Hey everyone, I'm John, and Alton is still out playing, so Barb is joining me yet again. This is going to be another one of our extra show. It is not our normal podcast. And the segment for today is yet another Think Fast. Barb, are you ready for this one?
Totally ready to think fast. I've had caffeine and everything.
did you shower today? Did you brush your teeth and everything?
Last night, does it count? It's like within a 12-hour period. So, yes.
I plead the fifth. So, guys, stay tuned. This will be fun. This is the Deciding Factor Extra.
Bringing you their thoughts on today's news and current events. Coming to you from Austin, Texas, this is the Deciding Factor Extra. With your hosts, Alton Hill and John Herzog.
All right, guys, welcome back again. Like we said in the intro, this is the Think Fast segment. We are going to ask a bunch of random questions, and we're both just going to have to think off the top of our head and hopefully not offend too many people. But I think I'm going to be in trouble still from the last one that we recorded due to my statements about tires. Thanks to you, Barb. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
The only other way I can do it is if I make sure that I just delete the thing after, 1,000 people have heard it and then change it. So,
You're like, what? I don't think we did an extra that day.
that wasn't me. That was my standard.
Yeah, that Alton. He's so offensive.
All right. So let's do this. This first one is actually going to be kind of on topic with what's going on in the world. So forget COVID, right? We've got vaccines that they're working on for COVID, but what about the vaccine for the common cold?
Oh, no, I don't care about the common cold. I want to know when they're making a vaccine for the man cold.
What's the man cold?
How every time that a man gets a cold, and it can be just like the sniffles, they're dying. Laid out on the couch, like, I just need the orange juice, but not that kind. I need the Tropicana kind with a bendy straw. I want to know when there's a vaccine for that. You're going to deny that this is a thing? Do I need to get your wife on the phone?
This is not a thing in this household. I unfortunately, I have only had the cold probably once or twice. But my biggest concern is, should I not air this episode? Because you might be speaking a little too personal over there.
No, it's okay. This is a thing that I think that I teased my husband about once, like 10 years ago. And he is insistent that I am heartless about men with their colds, like husband colds. But I hear this everywhere I go. So I really, there's a little part of me that wants to actually have your wife on the air so I could ask her, like, were those two colds that you've had ever just super memorable to her? Because I don't know. I think a lot of moms, you tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think a lot of moms, like, they always have to work through the cold. It's like, what's that? You're feeling sick today? When's breakfast? And I'm just saying, it seems like men more often have, maybe they're just smart enough to go ahead and lay down and sleep and everything, but it seems like it lays them a little flatter.
No.
No?
The only thing she will tell you, and probably even my ex-wife, is when I am sick and like throwing up, I'm loud. I mean, you can't just go bleh. Like, I mean, everybody and the neighbors can hear me, but I'm not. I'm not like what you described. So,
you know what's funny though?
Man cold. That's kind of the first.
I haven't actually ever met a man that thinks that that's how he is when he's sick. So I'm just curious. Everybody says that they're, generally peachy when they have a cold. Just curious.
You have a unique question on here, and I'm gonna let you word the next one.
Oh, guess I better look at the list then.
The one about the M&Ms and Oreos.
Okay. Well, you sort of already got into this in one of our previous extras. So if you haven't seen our previous extras, go ahead and hit pause, go back and watch them. It'll be worthwhile. But I want to know about all of these M&Ms, Oreos. We have all these new flavors. We don't just have like M&Ms. We've got peanut and caramel and pretzel. And I want to know, according to John, are these like candy sacrilege, or are they good improvements? Is it like good technology, like that we have electricity now, or is it bad technology like answering machines? I don't know. Go ahead.
So the M&Ms, I do like some of the flavors, right? So the peanut and the regular, I guess those are out of the question, but the peanut butter ones, I actually like those. Those are pretty good. And the pretzel ones, oh, like seriously, come on. You can't tell me you don't like those. Now, you're talking the coffee. I do like the caramel. I love caramel. So
Yeah, but see, like, why wouldn't you just go eat a Cadbury egg? Or like, I feel like it's been done somewhere else. Like, you want to eat a peanut butter M&M, like go eat a Reese's.
but it's not an M&M. And I think it's better than Reese's, to be honest with you. But
Okay. So if you're like comparing Reese's Pieces and a peanut butter M&M, you're gonna say the peanut butter M&M is better?
absolutely.
Okay. So this might be a peanut butter debate in that sense. What about the Oreos though? Because now we've added like there's mint Oreos. There's even they made one this last summer that's like it's like Pop Rocks Oreo. It's supposed to be a 4th of July.
Okay. No, now that I'm thinking of it, so the original Oreo is pretty good. However, the birthday cake Oreo, phenomenal. Like sign me up. Now some of the other ones, no, I'm good. So starting this question, I was kind of like, no, you don't F with the original, but
You do.
ones that I really like. Like if you do the cookies and cream Oreo, I'm good. I'll pass. But yeah, the birthday cake one was pretty good, and probably why I have an extra 20, 40, 50, 90 pounds to
Okay, so it sounds like you found your own option C. Like you're going to say generally you should leave the originals alone, except that one guy, in which case that one was okay.
And dark chocolate, no. Still no.
And dark chocolate.
Ugh.
I want to have a chocolatier on here to explain dark chocolate to us because I don't really like it either. And people say that it's like this powerful health thing. I mean, they hold dark chocolate up there with like kale. And I think, okay, if I have to choose between dark chocolate and kale, I might just go hungry. I don't know.
So here's the problem with having a guest on that might know more about chocolate than the average Joe. I think you would find out way too many things that you don't know and probably don't want to know.
Well, that's true of life, and it hasn't stopped us from having this show.
This is true. We have found out some weird things. We've even found out some weird things about people that we interview. You recently interviewed an interesting person. How did that go?
I did. Did you know that the Earth is flat? I'm telling you, my kid, this was one that I probably shouldn't make fun of. Not going to stop me. So the kids were all lined up. They're like, is this call today? Like I get to do the pre-call. And as soon as I get off the call, they're like, so tell us the truth. Is the Earth flat? And I don't feel like I should say, because then maybe people will stop listening at this point if they know the answer. So teaser, is the Earth flat? Wait for it.
So part of me wants to have him on the extra show and just let him speak his mind. But the problem is I think I would probably make an enemy for the first time because I don't think I can keep a straight face. And anyhow,
it would take longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, which, these extras have been about 10 minutes or so. But depending on what kind of show we're doing on the extra, we could just be talking news. We could be talking real events going on, or we could be talking about an article or these ThinkFast questions. So those are fun too.
Yeah, I was going to say Oreos. That is news. You can change Oreos. That's news. This is relevant.
Okay, so let's go to the next candy question then, since we're on the topic. Is there a wrong way to eat a Reese's?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Hit me with it. Give me some of this knowledge that I don't know again.
Do not take the wrapper off.
Do not take the wrapper off.
Would be the wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Oh.
But I'm sorry, you walked right into that. I didn't see a way to not say that. That's okay. You want my serious answer though? Yeah, honestly, I
I have accidentally eaten the wrapper, like not the foil, right? It's that undercoating. It's like I'm
oh, the
eating it
paper.
in the dark, and I forgot that there's that second part. So I take this big bite of it, and instantaneously I'm like, oh, there's more to it.
Well, yeah. I'm also going to say you shouldn't eat them all in one bite, but that's probably true of everything. Like, although I think I feel more opinionated about Pop-Tarts than I do about Reese's on this, but like, I'm a firm believer that you should eat the edges of the pop
cup, though, right?
Yeah, like the cup, not like, yeah,
Okay.
whatever the alternative is. Yeah, you should totally take things in smaller bites so you don't miss all the flavor. One of these days, I'll figure out how to do YouTube videos on my own, and I'll probably have to give a tutorial on how to correctly eat Pop-Tarts. It'll be epic.
Interesting.
It will be.
So Reese's Pieces, or not Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups, I actually do it in halves. So 2 bites and I'm done. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
special
legit.
about it. I've seen people try to poke holes in it with their finger. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get my hands all dirty.
Sticky. So yeah, I can't get into that. Of course,
eat it with the wrapper on it first. All right. Should my teenage driver take the driving test on a stick shift?
Crickets. I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes. Why?
I'm going to say yes. Because I think that it's one of those things that we should all know, even if you don't end up driving a stick shift. It's when I finally learned how, and I did learn how to drive on a stick, and my poor mother, she did live to tell the tale, but I think I scared her pretty badly. But it gives you an awareness of the vehicle that I don't think that you get otherwise with an automatic. And I think that I would want my teenager to be more aware of what they were doing than just like, look, I made it go. Go ahead. He's shaking his head.
No, so, unless they're going to become 007, they're probably never going to be in a vehicle that's going to require them to learn how to drive a stick. I mean, how many cars can you even find in today's world that are stick unless they're really old? And hopefully you wouldn't put your teenage daughter in an old car.
I totally would.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like,
you can fix it.
She's going to ride in a big truck, an F-150 or F-250. That way she stands a much better chance of surviving in a wreck. That's a different statistic for a different show. But I think my oldest daughter knows how to drive a stick. I'm not too sure. But I honestly would say no. They need to just focus on being good drivers in automatics. So.
All right.
I'm going to stick with that one. However, you have decided to do a big controversial question to follow this one. And I want to preface this with, gosh, I don't know if I want to really take it on, but the question is, are men better drivers than women?
I think I'm going to make you answer this one first. I'll wait. Sorry. Not sorry.
So I have been in a few wrecks, and only one has ever been my fault. The other wrecks have actually been majority women hitting me. I don't know if it's, they just wanted to get my phone number or what, but
He's such a magnetic personality. That's what it is.
No, I was gonna say I'm very cute, and they see me driving, so then they're like, "Bam, hit you." But no, seriously, I have only been hit by one male driver. The rest have been females, and so I have also been in the volunteer fire department, and I've gone to a lot more calls that involved women. So I will also take it one step further, though. Because if you've ever driven on the highway, you have probably driven behind a really elderly person or a Chinese driver. Women Chinese drivers, to me, are probably the worst ones that I've seen. And I have been hit by 2 of them. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it with that. That's
okay. That's what I was actually I didn't think of the Chinese thing. I was gonna say that I think that men are probably generally better drivers. Uh, Although if we're going for option C, I'm gonna say the worst drivers in the world come from California. The only times that I have ever
Really?
been, the only times that I've ever been multiple times, nearly T-boned, creamed in some weird way. I glance up in the panic, and it's always a California driver, at least around here. Maybe that's not universal, but
Huh.
no, I think that it's because women multitask. Like the same thing that makes us really skillful in other areas, I think is detrimental to our driving because we have the capacity to think about so many different things at once that I think that sometimes we miss stuff.
Man, I would tell you, one of those Korean girls that hit me, I was trying to turn into a parking lot for my daycare to pick up my daughter. Blinker on and everything. The only thing on the road is a bike shoulder lane, right? And so I start to go right, and the girl jacks me. Like she's trying to pass me on half the sidewalk and half the actual bike lane that's left on the shoulder. And I'm just like, what on earth are you doing? Like, why would you ever attempt that move? Whatever.
Yeah, no kidding. I think my husband's a better driver than I am. As long as we stay away from things like orchards and vineyards. I think it's the only thing that I can think of because my husband's a farmer. The only thing I can think of that makes him less of a fantastic driver is when they're doing the whole, and again, I blame this on the multitasking or inability of multitasking. Like we're driving along and he sees like, hey, there's a block of, and we do that. Like that kind of veer off the side of the road. Only time that I would say that he's not a better driver than I am. And it's probably because I don't pay as much attention. Like I didn't notice that there was a huge orchard on the side of the road, which leads me back to I don't think I'm as good a driver.
Yeah. I would have to say both the wives that I've had in my life have destroyed some cars. In fact, I was in a wreck with my ex-wife. We had my daughter in the back seat, and we got hit by a drunk driver. So I guess technically it wasn't her fault, but still, it was like the first car accident my daughter, being a baby at the time, was in was that, and I think I stunned her because I was like, chase after him, and she's like, what? Are you kidding me? Yes, let's go. If we had not chased that guy, he would have gotten away because he was.
You actually? She did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
talking to the cops while I'm sitting passenger, and I'm like, follow him fast, speed. I don't give a, So we ended up following him. He pulled into his driveway, and right before he got out of his car, the cop pulled up, and that is the only way we got him. Otherwise, if the cop hadn't seen him get out of his car, the cop even told us this. He said, I wouldn't have been able to do anything for you.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with your ex-wife that she actually listened. I think at that point I would have been so rattled that I would have been like, what are you talking about?
Oh, she was rattled. I got in trouble. She cried, and I eventually cried.
Right. As long as we made you cry, that's good too. No, I've never caused an accident. I've gotten rear-ended a couple times, but the only accident that I have ever actually been the cause of involved a fence. And it was late at night, and you're going to like this because you're in Texas. I had come back from this great roller derby clinic, okay? And Texas has I think she's now retired, but had a brilliant roller derby star named Smarty Pants. And Smarty Pants came up and did a clinic for a bunch of us. And so I was driving back, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I must have nodded off right at the turn because I woke up in a field full of cows. There we go. Woke up in a field full of cows, and I'm like, oh, that was horrible. The farmer came out. It's like 1 a.m. I thought I'm going to get shot because I'm not going to knock on your door. He came out, and he was probably, in his 70s. He's like, sorry, you drunk? No, nope, just tired. All right. And he sauntered off. That was it. Okay.
All right. Well, that's all the questions for this episode. Anything you want to add to this, Barb?
No, I feel like we've probably gotten your relationship in as much trouble as it can handle for this 10-minute segment. So,
yeah,
have fun, John.
I think there's more to it that I'm going to get some feedback on, but if if you watch any comedy, I'm not the only one that makes fun of these drivers. So bite me.
Yay for editing. Okay.
All right, guys. It was unusual and fun. So stay tuned. It's going to get worse. And we will see you on the next Deciding Factor Extra. Also, make sure you check out our regular podcast, which is the Deciding Factor Podcast. And you can find us at the decidingfactorpodcast.com. Stay tuned. Enjoy. Barb, say bye.
Bye.
This has been another episode of the Deciding Factor Extra, giving you food for thought on real-life issues. Be sure to click, like, and subscribe to this podcast, as well as all your big social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out our website, thedecidingfactorpodcast.com, and give us comments and feedback. Until next time, stay safe and keep an open mind.